Hello viewers, Super GT here, welcome back, thank you for joining me. Now this video is a little bit different because I woke up about 5:30 in the morning to play some Forza. Not by intention, but because I was feeling a bit weird. I went to sleep really early and therefore I woke up early. Logged on, and I don't normally log on at this time, as you can probably imagine, and we can see the typical carnage. So depending on the time zone, the carnage doesn't really seem to change all that much, but we've found ourselves coming up against a lot of Americans by virtue of this time difference. So my main objective today is, well, just to beat as many Americans as possible, and well, just beat as many people as possible. Really, I mean that's the idea of racing. So let's see what we can do then at Prague in the Jaguar. A nice little combination here, and you know what, I've been really enjoying this hopper. This has really sort of made me fall back in love with this game again. This is where the fun... Oh, no, okay, I'm back out of love with it again. As we get annihilated into the wall. This is the thing though with this hopper, the fact that you're going in blind. You don't know how good these cars' brakes are. You don't know where to brake at all. So you can't really blame too many people for being involved in accidents. But we're going to have to do a lot of work here. Back down to 19 out of 22. Lots of people grinding off that wall as we come down past the river here at Prague. Now, I've been to Prague actually. I've been across the main bridge, across the two bridges that you go across on this track. I've been across them. So a lot of this is sort of fictional, the layout and such, but a lot of it is actually... it was actually quite interesting seeing it for real. I didn't quite see a load of Jaguars bashing each other about though when I went there, which we've just seen there. There's actually 3 abreast behind, and I'm not sure if they're all going to get out of that one alive. Coming into turn 1, smashing into the back of Scary Foal 295490 as I try to back off, but then he has a terrible exit, so we're just going to overtake him anyway. Through the chicane of death, and actually surviving. Binbo's XP. We've got an actual American here. I think a lot of American drivers do put their flag as their logo or symbol above their name there. So we know who we're beating. We know their nationality. And that involves you too, Canadians. You're North America too. We're going to try to beat as many of you as possible. As we go past Nifty Tyler in the Love Tunnel. Not too much love going on here today though. The romance is dead. Mum of Speed, that's quite American. We'll try to overtake Mum of Speed in a minute. As we've made our way up into 11th. Going to go for that deep line. Well, maybe one day we'll go for that deep line and cut back. As is the way in these stock cars, you kind of have to go deep into the turn, let the car rotate, and then power out. As we go over the crest into the sweeping section now to round out the lap. Mum of Speed has carried too much speed into that turn, goes wide, poor exit, overtake on the way out. I can say goodbye. So we've got a couple of more people up ahead. Looks like the battle for 6th place, or 1st to 6th, they've got away. And then 7th is possible here, I think. 7th is within sight, as SimR S Clippy 96, a little bit wide into the wall. We're going to carry some more momentum down this back straight towards the final turn. He's actually breaking quite a lot there. Gone into the back of him as we go into the final corner of the lap. Just 3 laps here to do. So we've completed near enough the second one now as we go into that main straight, and plenty of space behind. Going to turn 1, guy in 8th place, a little bit wide into the wall, collects the guy behind, and I'm through, gaining 2 positions up into 8th. And actually just scanning ahead there, the gap for 6th place is actually a lot smaller now. So there's potential for a couple more positions. Just looking at that map, bottom left of the screen, it's actually getting fairly close. And actually, just scanning ahead, there was an incident there. There's a big group of chaos up ahead. Actually, the guy in 6th is called Total Chaos, quite unerringly. Let's try to catch up with this group and make some inroads. So decent recovery after a mixed first lap, and we've got another victim, Total Chaos, adding to the chaos by claiming himself as a victim at that wall once again. So here's that deep line, going to go deep now and come back. Can we get a better exit? A little bit too deep, I think. In fact, though, and look at this. You can see the superior run. I'm going to sweep to the left-hand side. A little bit too wide, though. As we go over this crest, I'm going to let him turn in across and perhaps get a better run on the way out, as we did against the Mum of Speed earlier on. Up the hill. Try and make him go narrow when he doesn't need to, so I can get a better exit. Is it quite going to happen? I'm going to go for that very late apex. Yes, I have got the run, but it's not going to be enough. He can cover the inside. And again, make him go narrow when he doesn't need to. And we're going to have a better run on the way out. Can we go past here? A bit of rubbing, but then he just bails out over to the right-hand side. It's almost like he wants me to finish in 6th place. Can we potentially get one more position here? Late on the brakes, really good line through the turn before. And no, it's not going to be enough. We're going to finish in 6th place. AMSGG Racing there, winning the race. He's an American. We finished 6th. And by virtue of getting a decent lap, we're going to start 2nd on the grid here in America. So we go to the home ground of the Americans with an American on pole. Can the Brits go against the grain and beat the Americans and claim another colony in Virginia? Up against GG Racing here, very quick guy, as he holds the lead around the outside into turn 2, goes a little bit deep. I'm going to make the most of that up the inside. That IMSA sign always seems to be in the way, as I want to cut that corner, but it's a big deterrent. We all know the Mobil one sides at Sebring, the hardest substance known to man. I think the IMSA signs here are just as hard. As we come through this turn, he's going to actually fling these boards in my way. It's like a scary horror movie scene where the person fleeing is throwing things in the way of the person trying to catch them. It's exactly like that. It's basically exactly the same thing. Coming through this turn here, difficult turn to get right. He's taken it all wrong. Unfortunately, I can get a run, but I'm on the outside, going up to Oak Tree Corner. Not normally the best place to be. Very easy to go wide on this turn. I normally do, to be honest. As we sweep round onto the back straight. This is the best configuration of VIR. I don't mind VIR, but I think ideally you want this configuration. Side by side into the chicane. I was looking around the outside and it didn't quite pay off. So he's going to keep the position. Coming down towards the final chicane. It's a good race, this. Fairly evenly matched. As he goes a little bit hot, it's going to cost him on the way out, as he kind of has to release the throttle mid-turn. He's actually got a decent exit there. As we round out lap 1, close race. So we were first and second on the grid. We didn't get murdered at turn 1, and that spawned a decent race so far, at least. A little bit deep into turn 1, but that's kind of normal. As long as you let the car kind of pivot halfway through the turn, then it should be okay. He's on the left hand side. I'm forcing him narrow. I'm doing that quite a lot, and he's going to go actually really deep as a result, and I'm up into the lead. So a couple of times there, just making him go narrow when really might not have needed to, and it kind of cost him halfway through the turn. And obviously on this occasion he's dropped right off onto the grass, and it looks like I'm going to claim Virginia for Britannia, as eventually at the end of the race, it was a good 600 feet, so run out easy winner here, and we're going to win the race for once. Okay, then we move to Road Atlanta, going past another American. So many Americans. As going up into turn 1, up the inside of Aerox, Servi, not quite going to work out. We're in the Regera here, really interesting car, because when it's a Koenigsegg, so it's an absolute beast, it's a monster, but then it's only got 1 gear, which is very unusual. So you do have to drive this, it's weird driving this thing, not having to shift gears at all. Around the outside, questionable track limits there, receiving a couple of bumps through the turn, trying to unsettle that rear end as it does, as we then come up to the 290 degree right-handers before the back straight, lunging up the inside, trying to keep that first position, a little bit wide through the turn on the exit, and again we're being tapped through the corner, and we're going to keep first position just for now, although it's going to be really difficult. Let's see how quick this car can accelerate up to. It's crazy, 1 gear, and once it gets going, it really does get going. Over 200 miles an hour, nearly 200, yeah, over 220 miles an hour. I have really no idea where to brake. I'm totally guessing. I played it a little bit safe Aerox there, perfectly on the brakes. We don't know, the thing is we don't know who's using the braking line, who isn't. He might have just got that dead right, but he might have just been using the braking line, you just never know. So through the final turn, keeping it rather settled, but not on the exit, all over the grass, spending more time sideways than forwards. It is more like a Gymkhana video this. So gone through the first corner, rather nice line. Try to keep up with him. Now this is a lap later, running a little bit too deep. It's going to cost me on the way out, and you can see here R1R Badass or Bad Axe is going to come through. And I recognise the name from PGR days actually, and it actually flies into the wall. And I narrowly escape with my life by going underneath him. That's the new definition of undertaking. Now I couldn't really keep up with this guy until he made this fatal error. On the final lap he's kind of binned himself and bottled it. So he was actually getting away from me quite easily by like half a second a lap, or if not more. And well, he just threw it all away. So on this final lap, I've gone up into the lead. It's going to be a titanic battle. Of course, on the first lap he totally outbraked me going into the chicane. But hopefully, I've learned a lesson. I know where to brake now, halfway down the hill rather than at the top of it. So we're going to brake there and maybe release the brake a couple of times. We've got a back marker here, which could make things interesting. A couple of rams in the rear end as we come up over the crest down towards the final corner. Just make sure I don't bottle it here, and I've got myself a win. Probably one where I shouldn't have won, but I have. There we go. So this one, we go to Homestead, so of course another American circuit. Yankees fan on pole position. That is as American as it gets. You know that he's American. He's got the Audi badge there, but you just know he's American if it involves the word Yankees. So up the inside, up into the lead. The Brits here, taking over so many colonies in the United States. They're going to fight back soon with the war of independence against Super GT, of course. So we pull away in first place. Comfortable start, 5th to 1st. We'll take that. But then you don't really want to do this. You know, take your time when you're in the lead. Don't bottle it. Well, essentially what I'm trying to do here is take the new really wide entry into turn 3, as you can see here. So taking a really nice sliding entry. It's quite slow actually, as it turns out, but overtaken by 2 people. So I wouldn't actually really recommend that. And yeah, just completely bottled that. I was having a good race there until that mistake. Eventually finishing in 3rd. Now this, oh my god, I'm having a hard time looking at this. This was shocking. Road America, the land of the Americans once again. And into turn 1, well, there's no brakes there. Yeah, just get shoved wide. Wolf's there, my fellow Brit. This is where the American War of Independence begins.
Brakes on the left, dipshit.
Yeah, so this guy giving us a lesson where the brake pedal is, and actually, I don't take his advice into turn 2, and I just go straight off into the gravel. And then coming down the back straight, well, another incident, but a bit of friendly fire there as I smash into fellow Brit as a Canadian tries to take him out. Even the Canadians are getting in the act, and then here, just, I don't even know what the hell I'm doing. Like 4 bad things in a row. We quit. We moved to Laguna Seca. Just makes you realise how many American circuits there are in the game. I'd love more circuits in the game. Hopefully some European ones. There are plenty of American ones. Not that they're bad, because I really like the American circuits, but maybe a little bit more variety would be really good. Or more national variety from different countries. Just edging out that American there as we just sweep ahead. Here at the Mazda Laguna Seca Raceway in California, I believe it is, in the desert. Well, it looks very sandy at least. Assassin K797. Look at this savage lunge into the final turn. And we're up into 6th place. Good stuff indeed. 1 lap later, and it's guns and stuff. Now, this guy's got to be American. Guns and stuff. We all know that the Americans love their guns as we come across the line. In 6th place with 2 laps left to go at this point here. Can we potentially go for a move on this guy? Is it going to work out? Not quite. As we come through. No, not going to quite happen there. We do give him a bit of a tap to unsettle him. Now this is the final lap now. Coming up towards the end of the race. 4th place is a potential here, as Sammy goes very wide. Guns is going to go up the inside into the left-hander here, and actually drive a little bit too wide on the exit. Can we go up the inside of the American? This is the American Revolution 1775 colorized into the corkscrew at Laguna Seca, and we are going hammer and tong here. Contact through the turn. The American is fighting back, but the Brit is also fighting back. I've gone a little bit wide, and the American around the outside. He might not even be American, but I'm just guessing. In towards the final corner. Will I go for a savage lunge? No, not quite. He covers me off, and he's going to keep his 5th. I'm going to finish in 6th. As we come up to the line, we've got an assassin behind us, but he's not going to be enough as we come across the line to finish once again in 6th place. Now we return to the scene of that devastating race a couple of races ago at Road America. This time in a Volvo in S-Class, or R-Class? Is it S-Class or R-Class? Can't quite remember. Roughly S, top of S or bottom of R-Class, one of the two. Into turn 1. Plenty of smashing going on, going up the inside. We're starting quite near the back, 20th this time around. And we're going to try to make our way up the order as much as possible, of course. I mean, that's the idea. If you're not doing that, then I don't know what you're doing. And coming down this straight towards the big braking zone into turn 3. This is where things are going to get a little bit crazy. I presume, anyway. I hope not. As we go in, braking just before the 2 board, going to the inside, up behind an Australian here, or a New Zealander. Moving to the left hand side, guns and stuff all over the place, up the inside, there we go. Got the job done, up into 10th, that's a solid start. 10 positions gained, and we have 2 Americans in front of us, and they are fighting on the back foot now. I'm going to go past this guy, look for the space, I'm going to pry it open. I'm coming through, mate, there's nothing you can do about it. And smash into the side of this other guy as well. It really is the American War of Independence right now. And I'm outnumbered, I'm outgunned, I'm outnumbered. Around the outside, probably not a wise thing to do. And the Americans, they don't take kindly to that. I'm just going to get kind of shoved wide a little bit. I'm not sure that he was really... I don't know, that was a kind of a weird one. Sometimes the cars get stuck and it just happens. So down to 22nd, down to last place, down to last. So a big recovery here. So go past this guy. That's a funny American flag. As this guy goes, guns and stuff into the wall, busy thinking about his AR-15 assault rifle and not on his braking zone. Come on, man. LzyBoyCouch here, long-time fan of the channel. There he is, long-time donator too. What a legend. I'll go past him though. Ruthless. This is a war. I can't be seen. You know, I can't be seen to be nice to the Americans. One, pass 2. Canadian up the inside. European. Absolutely annihilating the North Americans right now. Yankees fan there, up the inside. Oh my god, they're all getting all over each other here. As I go back up into 15th, that's a good second half to that lap. But then there's a bit more friendly fire here. There's Roids and Wolves, both Brits, getting involved with each other, and that's going to cost them. But we do need to be working together here, really. As I go past, late on the brakes just before the 2 board, and I think that's a little bit too late. We're going to eventually kind of just meet the corner somehow. So now a little bit further round, up behind a Ford person, don't know what country that is, and an Australian. So plenty of colonisation, plenty of the colonies here being involved. And I suppose this is by virtue of playing at such a weird hour. You're going to get the Australians, you're going to get the Americans. Because normally I'll be playing sometimes against Americans, but normally against Europeans, depending, of course, on the time that you log on. But now we're challenging our Australian. I think I called him a New Zealander earlier. He may well be insulted, I don't know. But we've got the inside. Look for that move. It's open, and we're going to take the position a little bit deep into the turn. But we get the job done. Up into 11th. There's a big group up ahead. There's potential here for more. And Wolfs is going to try to follow me through, but he's been edged out into the pit wall. Oh my god. That could have been a lot worse. Okay, big group here. 4 people. Can we get up to 7th position potentially? A couple of Americans up the inside of both of them. It's getting heated now. There's lots of contact. Here we go. Plenty more. This is savage fighting as they try to prize the Brit away from their prized territory. Coming down towards their turn, 3 abreast. It's not going to be pretty. I'm across the grass, and I'm pretty sure that's against the rules in racing, but I've just done it. Sweeping around the outside. I have bad memories of doing this from lap 1. Am I going to be forced wide here? No, not quite. I think we've got the job done. I have to just back off on the way out though. Red Zone Jones up the inside. And I'm going to go for another savage lunge. Probably not the right thing to do. But once you're committed on the brakes, there's not much you can do to back out. You just kind of have to commit. And I'm almost into that wall, just backing out in time. In 10th. In now 11th. Can we potentially get one of these positions back? I hope we can. Oh, he's just going to back right off. Not sure what was going on there. Into the braking zone. Late on the brakes. He's on the inside. Tiny bit of contact. But we're going to be able to keep our momentum around the outside. We have the inside now for this left-hander. And we keep the position up into 9th. Is there potential for one more? I'm not sure. Probably too late unless we're looking for a mistake. The American goes for the lunge. And it's going to cost him on the way out as I now get the momentum up the hill, moving over to the right-hand side. And we're going to take 8th position away. Just as we get to the line. Almost 7th. But not quite. With 6th place in sight, that was a decent recovery. Coming back to 8th position from 22nd, most of the way around lap 1. Not bad stuff. But there we go. That's the end of the video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you to all my fans around the world for tuning in and just being part of the Super GT community. Much love as always. I shall see you next time. Goodbye.